things looking towards the hosting of such an important conference?
Well, we've had tremendous support from the Ministry of TIAT. In particular, Minister Stuart Johnson has been deploying staff to help us organize and mobilizing and spreading the word, because Minister Johnson, I think, recognizes the importance of preparing St. Martin for the mutual evaluation that is round the corner. 2021 is not long to prepare.
What will be some of the main areas of discussion during this 4 days conference?
We'll be focusing on anti-money laundering. We'll be focusing on preparing the jurisdiction for the mutual evaluation process, and basically kicking the tires of the regulatory framework to ensure that they are robust enough to meet the exacting standards that CFAT have set.
Approximately how many persons will be in attendance for the conference overall?
We currently have 120 registered, and I was up late last night registering more. So I'm guessing between 120 and 130 people, which is, I can tell you, the largest Dutch Caribbean forum that we've ever done. You've beaten Curacao by 25 delegates, so well done, St. Martin.
This is specifically towards the Dutch Caribbean islands.
Yes.
But also invitation was extended to different parts of the region as well. What sort of a participation are you anticipating?
Okay, so from Suriname, we have the central bank in attendance. They have a delegation of senior members of the central bank of Suriname. We have the Suriname Gaming Board. We have folks from Antigua, from the United States, from the Bahamas Financial Intelligence Unit, and the Bahamas Gaming Board. So I guess the word spread, and because the areas that we cover overlap in many of these other jurisdictions, there is nothing inherently precluding others from coming to attend.
Day one, what will be your topic?
What will be my topic?
On day one.
On day one, we're covering a number of topics, but focusing on de-risking, which is a huge problem, not just for St. Martin, but for the Bahamas and for many other Caribbean nations. And it's causing a real problem when banks, in order to preserve their correspondent banking relationships, are forced to shut out and exclude large sectors of their client base. So they could be casinos or they could be lotteries, and that's never a good thing. So we're focusing on that.
It's been said that behind every door, possibility awaits. How much possibility depends on which door you open first. Every day, we help our customers discover the possibilities in their lives. It all starts with a conversation. Scotiabank. Discover what's possible.
GEBE has been faithfully serving the communities of St. Martin, powering your home and our economy. Come rain or shine, our qualified team of professionals are working hard 24 hours a day to provide you and your family with safe, reliable electricity and water. We use the latest technologies and test our products daily to maintain the highest international standards. Our friendly staff is always there to assist you, whether in person, over the phone, or online. We are committed to constantly improving our products and services, making them more efficient, effective, and environmentally friendly to serve you better today and our next generation of clients tomorrow. GEBE, powering a brighter future.
Our friend Megawati is here with tips to save you energy. 1. Turn your airco temperature up. 2. Use a ceiling fan instead. 3. Buy energy-saving products. Save some green with NVGEBE.
Minister Johnson, concerning the economic outlook, the hotels. I know that's what you've been working on for some time now. Are there any more hotels coming online anytime soon?
Thank you, Andrew, for your question. And by the end of this year, we will see that Diamond Resort will be one of those hotels that will be coming online. They give a conservative date of the end of Q4 of 2019. And so we are looking at the end of this year for that property to also open, timeshare resorts and the like. You know, there's also discussion now about the Morgan property, and we've seen that also too will be coming online. Just a few minutes ago, I was live on PJD2, and again, I want to signal the alarm of the importance of having our hotels open for St. Martin, and that doesn't only transcend through the Council of Ministers, it also transcends throughout our nation. We are in a post-Hurricane Irma recovery mode. Certain processes, certain things must be expedited. Again, like I said a few minutes ago, that does not mean that something should be done irregular or in a legal manner. It just means that there should be more haste in getting things done. There must be that urgency to get the country back on track. And that is something that transcends throughout our country, must transcend in terms of the minds of our people. So again, I want to signal that alarm that we are indeed in extraordinary times. Getting hotels back online is part of the economic recovery outlook for 2019 and beyond. And of course, tied into that is making sure that the airport is ready. So while we have the hotels being on board, we also have to make sure that unilaterally as well, that the airport is part of that restoration as well.
I will allow a follow-up.
Yeah, and just for a follow-up, Planet Hollywood, is everything still on track with that project?
Everything, of course, is on track, and the Minister of VROMI would be able to expound in terms of where that process is now as well.
Thanks for the question. Sorry. The public review for that project recently ended on May 20th. So right now the ministry is gathering all incoming queries and, objections, if there are any. I'm not sure if there are on that project. So we are in the process of that phase right now.
Thank you, Minister. Stephen Cerulean of PJD2 Radio, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Roach. Ministers, good morning. My question is for the Minister of TIA, Stuart Johnson. Minister, St. Martin has been playing host to several conferences as of late. You made mention of the aviation meetup conference to be held soon. The gaming industry conference is coming up. You also recently had the wet hurricane conference here as well. SMART, the regional trade show press conference, was also deemed a success. My question to you is, how much was made available by both sides of the island, meaning Dutch and French, to ensure that SMART produced the success that it did?
Thank you, Stephen, for the question. And if I look at the different conferences, the different events that we've hosted, and that is, again, the vision of making sure that we offset our tourist season way beyond the end of after the carnival celebration, that we extend St. Martin into being a year-round destination, not only a seasonal destination. Part of that SMART considerations, and again, it's time for us to even expound on the opportunities that SMART can create in terms of the buyers and sellers in the industry. Does it capture the number of persons that we need? Are we getting that bang for our buck, so to speak? That is something that going into the coming years, we need to expand that vision, be able to bring in more industry partners throughout the world and making sure that SMART captivates what it needs for St. Martin. Was it a success? Now, coming back online, having been absent last year, definitely. That MOU that was signed between the Dutch and French side supports events like that. But in general, that is something that we need to look at. And the exact figure that was projected and pledged for SMART, I will give you right after this broadcast, for sure.
Hey, Ma. How you doing? You busy?
I hear, just paying some bills, taking care of business, you know what it is?
I know, you're doing your online banking.
I don't have to stand in those long lines to pay bills. I can transfer when I want. I can check my account wherever. It's like the bank open 24/7. I even here checking the statement right now as we're talking. How's Miami?
Well, that's why I'm calling. I'm finishing up a few songs now, but I'm afraid that studio time might be more than I thought. And I was wondering if I could get some help with some funds, and I could pay you back as soon as I get back to St. Martin.
Let me check my account. How much you need?
I think 500 should be enough.
I can transfer it to you while online. Direct from me to you. No problem.
Great. Thank you so much, Ma. I'll get online with Wib now.
Alright, darling. You know who you're for? I need to know who you're for.
Contact Wib today for your complete personal online banking experience. Available for all mobile devices. The Wynwood Islands Bank, now your online banking partner in progress.
Following the budget debate in Parliament, as expected, not even the Minister of Finance, on behalf of the Council of Ministers, not even the Committee for Financial Supervision, came with recommendations to adjust the budget in such a way that the income of the more than 13,000 poor and needy households in St. Martin can be supplemented to at least 4,000 guilders or $2,222 a month. Which of the parliamentarians came up with amendment proposals to eradicate the poverty among the more than 13,000 poor and needy households? The budget debate is still not concluded. So we are anxiously awaiting what our parliamentarians will do for the poor and needy households. So far, neither MP, the suspended MP Theo Heiliger, neither the opposition party leader Frans Richardson did not propose to amend the budget for the poor and the needy to get a livable income, not to be in poverty. As brought to your attention in several press briefings until today, the Council of Ministers, neither the Parliament, has engaged in a social dialogue with the Anti-Poverty Platform Consumer Coalition on the eradication of poverty. Just to refresh your mind, here are all the initiatives we took to get a structural dialogue to reach to a consensus on how to eradicate poverty. All political parties were asked to commit before the elections of February last year to the declaration to eradicate poverty, in which one of the points is a dialogue with the Anti-Poverty Platform to realize the eradication of poverty. As we informed you, 2 political parties responded. The SMCP publicly signed the declaration, and the USP sent a letter that they were willing to commit to the eradication of poverty. But none of the other parties, the DP, the UP, neither the NA, responded and did not commit to eradicate the poverty. In February 2018, we asked the governor, as the Kingdom government representative on St. Martin, for a dialogue as follow-up on a presentation that we have given him exactly 1 year before in 2017. He sent our letter with the request to the Minister of Public Health, Social Development and Labor, Minister Lee. Until today, we did not receive an answer, neither were we invited to dialogue about the poverty eradication and the violation of our human rights in the Kingdom of the Netherlands. The end of February 2018, we asked the governor to make sure that the eradication of poverty would be prioritized in the new governing program. The governor sent our letter and request to the two informateurs. These two invited us for a meeting, but nothing of our suggestions to eradicate the poverty were explored with the political parties to see which coalition could be formed to eradicate the poverty. Formateur Theo Heiliger was formally asked by us to prioritize the eradication of poverty in the negotiations to form a new government and in the governing accord, and subsequently in the governing program. The governing program came out after several months of internal negotiations with the mentioning of a dialogue with stakeholders, but until today, the governing coalition did not have a structural dialogue with the anti-poverty platform. Eradication of poverty was a heading mentioned in the governing program, but only to announce a study to determine the poverty line in St. Martin, not to announce policies to bring down the cost of living, or to provide the households in St. Martin with living wages and living social pensions and social allowances up to 2,000 guilders a month to guarantee each household a combined income of at least 4,000 guilders a month. We informed you about letters that we sent to the Council of Ministers for a meeting for us to dialogue on the adjustment of the governing program to still include our proposals to eradicate poverty in the plans of the government. Until today, no meeting was scheduled for us. Not even the written answer promised by the acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Wycliffe Smith, neither from the Prime Minister, the Honorable Mrs. Leona Malin Romeo, we have received. This government put in their governing program that they would engage in consistent dialogue with stakeholders. Well, until today, this government evaded to dialogue with the anti-poverty platform.
Hello, St. Martin. My name is Stephanie Medina and I play football with the Walichi Women's soccer team. I have represented St. Martin in many different games. For example, the Dutch Caribbean Women's Soccer Cup. I played against Bonaire, Aruba, and Curacao right here in this stadium. Sports matter to me because it makes me happy, it keeps me fit and healthy, and it is very fun. So I asked the business community to take on this challenge and help us rebuild our facilities. And I also asked the community to nominate the local businesses in your area and take on the challenge and step up for sport. Why? Because sports matter. Check out the Department of Sport Facebook page for more information. Hashtag sports matter, hashtag are you in?
I like to be spontaneous at times. Mr. Reginald spoke about a book I wrote about his aunt. Yes, I did write that book. And that book, when I wrote it, when I met Miss Pontefet, Patricia Pontefet, it inspired me to be a better person and a better father to my son. And watching the Pontefet family Every time I see how they interact with each other, it gives me a lot of inspiration, and I want to aspire to what they have. So let's give a hand to the Pontifical family. Good evening to all. I want to thank the Pontifical family for inviting me to speak to this fantastic and gracious audience. There are many challenges that this nation faces educationally. These challenges have been worsened by the passage of Hurricane Irma. One of these challenges is the use of technology in our schools. Sadly and unfortunately, in many schools throughout this great nation, many teachers are still being compelled and forced to use chalk and top. This means that some teachers are utilizing the chalkboard to teach instead of employing interactive boards, computers, e-books, projectors, and Kindles. Since the government of St. Martin has been facing serious financial problems, the solution is for schools to seek financial assistance from local businesses and organizations in Europe and Canada. There are numerous organizations in Canada and Europe that can be approached and be tapped for funding. The money can be used to purchase all of the technologies I mentioned earlier that can be used in the classroom. Another challenge that all St. Martin schools face is a problem when it comes to accommodating students who have learning disorders. Learning disorders such as attention deficit disorder, dyslexia, and attention hyperactivity disorders. Many of these students believe that they're stupid, that they're dumb, and that they are dunce. And to be honest, this is far from the truth. The solution for this problem is for the government of St. Martin to hire more special education teachers at every school. Furthermore, all schools should give basic training to every single teacher to help these students reach their maximum potential. There is another solution to helping students with learning disorders. Parents who has a child that have a learning disorder, every single parent on St. Martin that has children with learning disorders should create a foundation that can apply pressure on the government of St. Martin to pass laws to protect these students. That is what can happen as well. There is also another challenge, the final challenge I will talk about today. Currently, the government of St. Martin is planning or thinking about making cuts, subsidy cuts to schools like the St. Martin Academy, like Sundial, like Milton Peters. This type of action is creating fear, uncertainty, and chaos among the teachers who feel that they're being affected by this action. The solution, my people, is this. The solution is all teachers, principals, unions should sit together with the government, reform and revamp the manner in how subsidy is being distributed to schools. If we work together, we can solve many problems. Won't you agree? Certainly. In conclusion, I would like to say this. Since the passage of Hurricane Irma, we have an opportunity to shape this nation in a better fashion. How we respond to the cracks in our educational system will determine who we are as a people for the next decade. Therefore, at this time, I would like to thank you, every single one of you, for allowing me the privilege of your time. God bless you all, and God bless St. Martin.